Hello, welcome to my Avengers Endgame review. So I'm going to start off with my critiques of the film, and then I'll go into where I thought the film left some items on the table that they should have incorporated into the film. Just from an overall, I thought the movie was great. It was fantastic. 3 hours. There was a lot of action that kept me engaged. Also, I thought the movie did a great job pulling at your emotional strings for especially all of the people who invested 10 full years of watching each of the movie to show some old clips and bring back some old characters, really tugged at your heartstrings. I thought they did a fantastic job making it emotional. But even with that, you know, if you take your emotions out of the movie and just break down the movie just from, you know, bones, just from the bare bones, the movie left a lot on the table, and there are some critiques that, you know, just didn't make sense. So my first critique of the Avengers Endgame is I would have loved for them to show the people of the world angry at the Avengers. I would have loved to see that everywhere the Avengers go, that there was a mass and herd of people that would come up to them and hit them with all the hard questions. Where did my family go? Where did my father go? Where did my mother go? Why aren't you guys fixing this? Why aren't you guys working on this? Oh, you guys are out at this diner eating. Why aren't you guys working on trying to bring my people back? I know you guys know the answers, and I know you guys could bring these people back. Why aren't you working on it? I would have loved to have a scene just like that in there, which would explain a few different things. One, it would explain why after, let's say, 5 years after Thanos snapped his fingers, why the world hadn't progressed, because they were still holding out hope that they could bring their old loved ones back. The other reason why I think that that scene would have been really great would have been, it explains why Tony Stark moved his family out into the woods. It kind of makes sense, because if everywhere, since Tony Stark said that he is Iron Man, I would think that after some mess like that happens where people disappear, everyone would go to Iron Man, Tony Stark, like, hey, are you fixing this? Are you working on this? And it's just too much. And he needs to, move his whole family into the woods away from everyone. Okay, so my second critique is I didn't like the way they portrayed Hawkeye. I thought they did a great job having Hawkeye and his family in the opening scene, where they're having a picnic and he's showing his daughter how to shoot the bow and arrow, and then all of a sudden they all disappear. Then after that, the thing they mention Hawkeye is like just out here in the world just murdering people, which turned me off, because I started thinking like, okay, well, you just lost your family, so now you're going to go out into the world and just kill more people. I just didn't like it. And then also it made me start to, really question like, hey, do you, if this is what you're going to do you really deserve your family back? It's a whole thing. I just didn't like how it came off as like he's just this mass murderer now. I thought they could have completely just cut the whole scene where he is with Black Widow, where she's crying like, oh yeah, he just killed 30 people. Oh, well, let's just keep tabs on it. I thought they should just keep, cut that completely out. And they should have had Hawkeye just at the Avengers headquarters constantly trying to ask all these super beings and superheroes to keep working and stay focused on trying to find a solution to bring his family back. So the other critique I had was when Thanos was fighting all the Avengers. Thanos was handling the Avengers. He didn't need the stones. He didn't need the gauntlet. I mean, yeah, they got some, a few good hits on him, but overall, Thanos was handling himself. Thanos was kicking ass and talking a little shit. So I was like, okay, so you don't need the gauntlet. You don't need all this other stuff. So you could just just came down to earth and just fought everyone and just won. So that was just one thing that I was just like, but I understood that they needed to kind of drag this out because it was the epic last battle. So with this movie, I thought they missed a great opportunity of potentially bringing back the great villains from the past 10 years into the movie. I thought it would have been a great scene if Killmonger, Red Skull, maybe Abomination would have came back into the scene and be able to fight alongside Thanos in the final battle scene. So let me just kind of explain what I would have liked to see. So first off, when they got all the stones together and they were going to have Hulk go in and snap his fingers, I would have liked for them to have more of a lively debate about what does restoration means. So at first, I think Captain America said, "Oh, let's just restore everything from how it was 5 years ago." But then you start thinking like, all right, well, what about Thor and, Thor and his mother? Like maybe they'll say, yeah, bring everyone back. And then also bring back my mother and my father. And then maybe someone else would probably say like, well, since I'm bringing people back, why don't I bring back my people or my family? And so I wish there was a more lively debate on what bringing people back meant. And then when the Hulk did finally snap his fingers, I would have liked maybe underneath his breath, he just says, "Bring back everybody." So then you fast forward to the big battle scene with Thanos and Captain America. And Captain America looks back behind him, and then he has the whole, all the Avengers and all the people that disappeared. They're all coming back, ready to fight Thanos' army and everything like that, which was a great scene. Looked great. Then it should have cut over to Thanos, and you should saw that Killmonger steps up, Red Skull steps up, Abomination steps up. Hell, you even see Carnage. He steps up. Doctor Doom, he steps up. And you see all these great villains that have been a part of the MCU for the past 10 years. Oh, they're back in play again. And then they should have had all the stones are, scattered all over the battlefield. And then it's a whole jamboree of, villains fighting each other, trying to get the stones and blah, blah, blah. And then ultimately the Avengers get the stones. They focus all the stones' power on Thanos, destroying him. And then they give it all the stones to Tony Stark's, and he snaps his fingers and he says a peaceful resolution or something like that. I don't know, something peaceful resolution. And all the fighting stops. But he's the one who has to sacrifice, and he has to die to keep, quote, peace and everything like that. So that's what I would have liked, but they missed that opportunity. So now it'll be interesting to see kind of where Marvel goes from here. I mean, you just had this big battle, this movie that is a conclusion of 10 years of work. So now it'll be interesting to kind of see if people are still